said,
Pause.
I said, give me the clap. Give me the thunderclap. Bumble clap. We live? Is we live? Is we rocking?
Vacuum.
I need you guys to tune in for the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and finding your own path. Because we're here in the CAF, and we're here to fuck shit up. Because you know why? It's your co-host, Mr. Brown Broken Guapo, living a dream, Mr. Puerto Rican Gallus, Mr. Boop, 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 Mr. More Fire upon your head top. Bam. That's you supposed to come in. Not come in. Sorry.
It's your boy Spence, King Aquarius,
Big Mun.
King Petty, Mr. 20%.
He doesn't like sushi. Do you like sushi?
I love sushi. What?
Ooh, he likes it raw.
I can eat sushi every day.
He likes it raw.
ODB me, baby. Sorry.
There's cooked sushi. Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty versatile.
You know what's interesting about raw sex is once you do it without a condom, it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, nothing was the same. Like,
how'd I get here?
How did we get there? We went
because you said sushi.
You said sushi.
And that's how we got here. See what I did there? Yo, what's going on, people? Your people.
Tuesday, December 6th. Welcome to the CAF. Welcome to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast. Podcast for positivity, progression, and finding your own path. I know you already said this, but let's start off with our question. It's been a long day. It's been a weird day.
Those kids have been on 1,000.
Because it's winter break coming up soon,
bro.
Right?
When I tell you 1,000,
because I ain't getting shit for Christmas, no way. So
big facts.
So I'm turning up. I'm getting my presents out that ass. All right, sorry. So question of the day, and I've really been pondering this, I think, since last Wednesday. So I've been excited to ask this question. Is gaslighting, the act of gaslighting, is it real?
Okay. For those who may not know, I'm not those. Let's define gaslighting.
That's funny you ask. I have the definition right here. So, manipulate someone by psychologically. JK, that's psychological. Manipulate by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. In the first episode, as an example, Karen Valentine is being gaslighted by her husband.
So is gaslighting real? How not? Now, is it not gaslighting if you're not taking advantage or manipulating? I'm playing off the definition.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, does that not make it gaslighting? Or what?
By definition, yes. Also, I got to tell you, you have something in your left eyebrow. There you go. You good. You got it.
Oh.
It would have been a long episode.
He did.
I'm like, I got to tell him now. Yeah, so I guess by definition, yes. But you, as Jacob Conde, 30-year-old Puerto Rican man.
Entrepreneur.
Ex-soccer player. Avid mental health advocate. Do you think you could be gaslit and let it stand?
I think no, because
why you say it like that?
Because the second I catch on to what you're doing, I'm either gonna fight fire with fire or find a way. Bro, I take pride in like mentally like just figuring out people's brains. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like in the first 5 minutes of talking to somebody, I can probably figure out like, all right, digging deep into you. You get what I'm saying? So if you're trying to fuck with my head, I'm gonna fuck with yours.
Correct. So
I don't know if that answered your question. Is
gaslighting actually real?
Yes.
how? What's real about it? What's like a tangible,
You're-
unchangeable fact about it?
You're reading the book. Is it 48 Laws of Power? Right.
Yeah.
48 Laws of Power. Right.
Great book.
Manipulation is one of the laws of power.
Mm-hmm.
If I can manipulate, right, your mind to trick you into believing something or doing something to benefit me, that's gaslighting. Because I'm being disingenuous. Two, I'm telling you something or doing you something just to get something back.
But it's a psychological means into questioning their own sanity. That's a mean form of manipulation in order to question your own. That's like me telling you that you bite into an apple and it's actually an orange.
But you know what? Sanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
That's insanity.
Right. I'm sorry. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome, right?
Yes.
So somebody with a low self-esteem, right, you can probably play into their mind very easily, and it might make them feel a little bit crazy. It might make them do things that they wouldn't normally do or in a sane state of thought would not do. And that's just, again, playing off your exact definition.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because to me, I don't think gaslighting is that deep. But if I'm telling you something to manipulate your mind, state of thought, state of being, right? It's gaslighting. Now, if you are a strong individual as yourself, right, then
Figuratively.
right. Someone might be like, oh, I can't be gaslit because it's not going to get to me.
It's just not going to be effective. Like, it's not an effective form of manipulation.
Right.
Like, and I think where it mainly comes in is to gaslighting people's feelings, right? It's like, well, you don't actually feel this way. This is just a figment of your imagination. Like, we just had a couple good times and like, you don't actually love me. But it's like, that only works if you haven't done the time to really like dig in and think like, no, are these feelings I'm having real? Are these thoughts I'm having real? Is this moment right now I'm having real? Like, am I sober? Like things like that. Like, I just can't. I guess I understand it, but it's hard for me to wrap my head around gaslighting being an actually real thing. But I think by definition, like, when did this word come out? Is this like?
I feel like it's a very new word.
I gotta look this up now.
Like no, okay, hold on. The action itself is not new, but
putting a word to it.
I feel like I've never really heard someone say gaslight prior to 5 years ago.
I used to hear my ex say it to me in 1938. Oh, we just some
we just some uneducated inside niggas.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. It's not. I feel like those who are weak-minded could be gaslit. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're true to yourself, if you know who you are, if you know you're strong mentally, it's very hard for someone to come and manipulate. And something that it ties into is the ego, which it's very easy to get manipulated, both when you have a strong ego and weak ego. Because if I have a strong ego and you're stroking my ego, yeah, I like what you're saying. Gaslighting is not always talking down on somebody. You know what I'm saying? I could tell you some shit. Yo, Spencer, you're really good at money. You're really good at this. Oh, yeah, nigga, I know. All right, cool. Well, come show me that. You get what I'm saying? You might not fall for it, but I stroked your ego in a good way. And on the flip side of it, if you have low self-esteem, low ego, I could hit on that as well. So I think ego goes hand in hand with gaslighting.
I guess I just think about Kobe and like Mamba mentality, and I feel like if Kobe didn't have a good mid-range shot and somebody was telling him like, nah, your shit fire, bro, he'd be like, no, it's not. Like, I didn't do my 5,000 jump shots this week. So
Word.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. I heard someone say it recently. I'm like, this is such a stupid term, and it's from a fucking British play called Gaslight. It's based on this dude who's he's manipulating his wife to thinking that she was going crazy.
Inception.
Great movie.
That is literally the plot of Inception.
To gaslight?
I mean, essentially.
Yeah, manipulate his wife. Yeah. That's not okay. Yeah.
But essentially, they gaslit that whole movie.
Do you think the top fell?
I think he came back to reality.
Same.
Yeah. Great movie. That's one of my top 4 movies. Top 4 movies in no order: Finding Nemo, Us, Adjustment Bureau, and Inception.
Adjustment Bureau is different.
It is an amazing movie.
To be in your top 5? Top 4? Adjustment Bureau?
Great movie. Because the premise of that movie is there's no like predestiny. You are not like here and it's all said and done. You have a say in your like fate and path.
Interesting. I could probably only give you 3. The 4th would be like there's just too many options. But it's definitely Good Will Hunting, Count of Monte Cristo, and Lion King.
Oh.
I don't want to get canceled. I was gonna say something regarding Kim Kardashian.
So let's that's wild. Let's take a dial back to like gaslighting, right? And talking about like mentality and stuff, right? And dive into today's topic a little bit of like New Year's resolution stuff. So by the time this airs, year will be coming to an end. You know what I mean? So, and I think New Year's resolutions is something that people so often focus on, but may or may not stick to, right? So let's start there. Why is it that you think many people set New Year's resolutions but don't see them through?
I guess like the far left answer would be lack of discipline throughout the rest of the year. But I also think, especially in the U.S., capitalism starts hitting hard around October. Like October to New Year's is like capitalism Hall of Fame stretch.
Better yourself, grow. Like
Nah. I'm talking about like feed the economy. Like you gotta think like Halloween, people throwing parties, candy, trick or treating, all that shit.
It's
like
like I do
costumes.
New Year's resolutions.
You asked me like, I'm getting there.
Okay, yeah, because I was like,
I'm getting there. Oh, because you, like I said, the far left answer would be lack of discipline because you just went through a far stretch of just like doing a bunch of things outside the quote unquote norm of the rest of the year. You're throwing parties, Halloween, Thanksgiving, your gluttonous holiday. You're eating like shit, eating crazy. Whatever you celebrate around Christmas time, there's a bunch of different things which regard like food, presents, capitalism, putting money into the economy, purchasing things, and then New Year's, which is the end all be all, the end of the old year into the new year. And what do people do? They throw crazy parties. They watch the ball drop. They're spending a bunch of money on a bunch of different things. And now it's like, oh shit, now it's back to reality because the next 3 quarters, I need to focus on me and focus on my life. So what things am I going to set for January? This is like what I see on social media. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is what like successful people do or like people who are disciplined and have like goals that aren't swayed by the time of year.
So you said, damn, I hate when you do this shit.
What'd I do?
Well, nah, because like you hit on like 2 different points that I wanted to bring up and I didn't really know which one to like hit first. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm good.
So the first thing you're saying, right, and if I'm gathering this correctly, is by doing New Year's resolutions, right, people are looking for new experiences, right? Like a new, like, all right, I just fucked off for the last quarter, right, of the year. Now let me find something new to get back on track. And it's something that they can't really commit to or don't really want to.
Say that again. They can't commit to or don't want
to? They
to?
can't commit to this new experience, this new lifestyle, this new change, right? Or they really don't want to.
So they set it as a goal?
So they set this resolution as like, all right, I'm 300 pounds, right? and one of the biggest New Year's resolutions is I'm going to lose weight, live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
gyms be packed in January.
Bro, I was thinking about that shit this morning. Right? But like gyms are going to be flooded the whole month of January. Once February hits.
Yeah.
You get what I'm like? Even getting Get Fit, I used to always remember like first 2-3 weeks
Of a
shit would be
challenge.
flooded.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, peace. You know what I mean? So it's like people struggle, one, committing to change, or didn't really want the change that they tried to commit to anyways. And I guess one, agree or disagree, but secondly, why is it that we struggle with committing to change?
I agree and disagree. I agree that there is a strong percentage of people who I think they purposely set unobtainable goals for themselves, so when it doesn't happen, they don't feel as bad. So what better time to do that than the beginning of the year? I also think there's like another percentage of people who like that shit made my stomach hurt when you just said that, but it's so true. Like people do that. There's also people like me and like, I don't know. I have my goals set out by year, 3 to 5 years out. So I kind of get a temperature check. Where am I on this path? You know, like how far have I gone? Like how much do I need to maybe pick up? How far ahead am I? And get it like a temperature check and a gauge. But no, as you say that, just going off of social media, like Facebook primarily, I see a lot of people who are just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they're not necessarily realistic goals. Like you're not going from 300 pounds to 250 in a month, you know, but you might go from 300 pounds to 250 in a year by that consistent like activity. But most people just start it for like, all right, in January, I'm going to do this. That's one of the caveats I had with Get Fit in the 30-day challenges. Because every time I did a challenge, I worked hard. I exerted myself like to the nth degree to get this shit done. And then afterwards, I'm just like, all right, cool. So now I'm going to indulge in everything I wasn't able to do. Yeah. As opposed to just setting the habit of like, someone told me, you don't just start reading a book a week or a book a month. You start telling yourself, I'm going to read a page a day. Right. And from a page a day, like no matter what, I'm going to read a page a day. And if it's actually compelling, you're probably going to read 2 and you're just going to keep going. I think a lot of people set unobtainable goals and they don't realize it. And then when it happens, it's just like, well, you know, and then they don't see anyone else achieving goals like that either. So it's like, who cares? So then you keep saying this word goals, right? Yeah. Are resolutions and goals the same thing? Ooh. No, but I think that's how people view them. Okay, so define a resolution versus goal. A resolution, I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes, you know, if I was a smoker. He's like, preface that by saying. I don't smoke cigarettes. Like, what are you looking to resolve? Okay. Whereas like a goal, I guess what are examples of New Year's resolutions? Okay, so I have the top 5 like New Year's resolution, huh? Like a vision board? I think that could be part of a resolution.
You, like you said, like I want to lose this amount of weight, or like I want to eat healthier, or I want to start that like dream job or like that dream project, or I want to, get that job that I've been really saying I always want to do. It's always things that people keep saying, like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then they decide, like, you know what? I'm going to stop saying I want to do this. I'm going to just do it.
So to Ashley's point, right, the top 5 most common New Year's resolutions are exercise more, lose weight, get organized, learn a new skill or hobby, and live life to the fullest, right?
What the fuck does that mean?
Listen, Google.
Okay.
So to Ashley's point, right, I feel like a resolution is like, all right, this is a change I want to make, right? I want to exercise more, right? And within that resolution or vision board, right, comes the goals of, okay, I'm going to start off by exercising once a week. You get what I'm saying? And then go to 3 days and then 5 days. So I think the goals are what make the resolutions happen.
Okay, so you set small achievable goals and then grow from there.
Right. Because like you alluded to, like a lot of people do things or set unrealistic goals. And it's like, what are you actually trying to accomplish? You know, because a goal is an action step. Like it's a how do I really make this happen? You know?
Yeah. It's actually funny. We were just having this conversation in the office today. I was telling my boys, because we were actually talking about goals, and as I'm thinking about it and I'm hearing people's goals, like, not to say that they're unrealistic, it's just like there's such a drastic change from what you're currently doing. Like, maybe instead of setting goals, we should set new initiative, like new non-negotiables within ourselves. Like, write a new contract. I'm not doing this anymore. If you think it's like bad.
What did you said some right before you said that?
Initiatives?
Before that.
Oh, such drastic goals from where you're currently at?
And drastic changes.
Yes.
Right? So I feel like tying in what you said to resolutions, right? Like a resolution is almost like a life transformation, a change of thought or being. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, how do I change? I've been living this way for 30 years. You know what I mean? I've been doing XYZ for 5 years. How do I now change this thought? You know what I mean? How do I now change this way of living that's been ingrained in me so long?
Yeah.
And now that I'm in this new year, it's like, yeah, new year, new me. Sounds good, right? But on the same token, like, it is scary to change your train of thought. It is hard to change your train of thought, which is why, like, some people might say, like, oh, yeah. And I don't want to keep, like, alluding to the exercise thing. I might start going to therapy, right? But in going to therapy as a New Year's resolution, you might unpack things that you've been purposely hiding from for a while. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's a thought process and it's a way of living that is somewhat intimidating, especially if you're not ready to make that change.
Yeah. I mean, it really just comes down to educating yourself, like, and just being self-aware, because, like, you have to, like, realizing there's things that you've done for 30 years and now actually thinking about, like, has this been good for me? You know, like, I've been doing this shit for 30 years, but, like, is this a good action that's actually helping me? Like, is this on brand with what I'm looking to accomplish and the type of person I want to be? Yeah, no, I guess that is scary. I don't know.
See, you're a very goal-driven person. So when you say you're going to do something, when you set out to do something, you're not going to fail. And even if you fail the first time, you're going to find another way to figure it out.
Facts.
But not everybody functions that way. That's why it's hard. I see you slowly malfunctioning. Yes. And that's why it's hard for you to, like, grasp, like, someone wanting to change their whole lifestyle or sometimes even having to. Like,
yeah,
you know, like, look at me when I was playing soccer, right? Like, for me, it was work out 2 to 3 times a day. Wake up, I had free time. I could do this, I could do that. Like, coming by money, how I came by, whichever I did. You know what I mean? To where it's now like, all right, I had to change a whole lifestyle where now I'm waking up, going to a job. You know what I mean? I actually have to answer to somebody. There's responsibilities. There's bills to pay. You know what I mean? Like, that is a whole lifestyle change, but it's like, I also don't have a choice.
Why not?
Then I'd be homeless.
No. See, this...
Yes.
No, I think it's because I think entrepreneurs and ambitious people just view things differently. It's like, I don't know, even when I was at Verizon, I used to tell people when I was training them, like, the only constant in life is change. So you just have to be malleable and, like, roll with the punches, but you also have, like, there's, like, a certain set of, like, key things that you also hold true within yourself. Like, there's things, like, there's every January there's going to be things that I'm going to want to change, but I also know there's some staple items that will always be the same, right? You can hold on to that, but still also understand, like, no, there's things that I want to do differently. Like, if you wanted to quit your job and go 100% into something, I bet you would figure it out sooner than you think. Like, if you decide there's no plan B, like revert to plan A, I bet you'll figure it out. But people are scared of that. And yeah, I understand, like, I don't know, entrepreneurs are what, 20%, 20% of people or of jobs in the U.S. or in general. So yeah, I hear you, but I also think, especially in today's day and age, from our phones, there's so many different ways to make money, to do what you're passionate about, to educate yourself on literally anything. I don't know. I feel like people are quicker to make excuses for themselves than to hold themselves accountable.
Oh, absolutely. It's easier to make an excuse, but an excuse is not a reason. And that's one of my...
What, excuse is not a reason?
An excuse is not a reason for you to not do something.
No, it's validation. Like,
right.
Excuse
like,
validates why it didn't happen.
I'm supposed to go to the gym this morning, but I was tired. That's not a reason. That's an excuse.
Okay.
Whereas I was supposed to go to the gym this morning, but I had a flat tire. That's a reason. You get what I'm saying? I was supposed to go to the gym this morning. We lost power last night and my phone died. So I didn't wake up. That is a reason. You get what I'm saying? I
could see how they could be perceived as excuses either way, especially if, yeah, I mean, I could see either or.
Like I tell my players all the time, excuses are not reasons for why you couldn't do something. You get what I'm saying? Like an excuse is a cop-out.
Yeah.
An excuse is a way out. Whereas, like, no, there are some legitimate reasons of why I cannot do this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think there's just more solutions in this world than most people realize.
Say it again?
I think there's more solutions in this world than people realize.
Absolutely.
And I think based on your definition of what you're saying, though, everything could be viewed as an excuse of why you didn't achieve your goals or why you didn't accomplish what you wanted to. It's like, yeah, that's like, again, the only constant in life is change. Like, you're going to wake up tomorrow and something's going to be different. You're going to wake up the next day, something else is going to be different. Like, so what plan do you have set for yourself to where no matter what happens in this 24-hour span, I'm going to get the amount of sleep that I need. I'm going to get the amount of time with myself that I need. I'm going to educate myself in whatever I'm passionate about in a specific amount of time every day. I'm going to take care of my mind, body, and soul within those 24 hours every day. Like,
yes, but there are things that you can't prepare for. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
true, but you can welcome it.
No, right. I can embrace this change.
Yeah.
But just because I embraced it does not mean that I can always just maneuver around it.
Well, that's the excuse.
No. I'm training for an Ironman race.
Yep.
I go and get cancer.
Okay.
Stage 3 cancer. I'm still able to go run Iron. Spencer, don't be an asshole. Be realistic.
So Brian, Ashley, if you look up David Goggins, I bet you that man tell you could. I swear for God, I bet you that man would tell you could. He bet you might not win that motherfucker, but you might get through it. I bet you he'll tell you that.
I'm gonna drown halfway through that bitch, and
because you automatically right now you told yourself you can't do it, so you're not gonna be able to.
Right, but I'm just saying realistically, there are certain reasons. You pulled the one outlier.
There's no such thing as realistically. It's like your life, like your goals, and how the world you live in. Like I actively believe this. Y'all are living in my world, like. And vice versa. I'm currently in your world. Your perception of this world, this is your scenario as well as it's mine. And mine is based off my 30 years of experience in this world. And yours is based off your 30 years of experience. So in my world, bro, y'all can do whatever the fuck I want. And it's going to happen. Bet. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
So back to New Year's resolutions.
Sorry.
So Back to New Year's resolutions. What are some things to consider when setting these New Year's resolutions?
Don't make it something that isn't a life change. Don't make it something that's short term. Don't say
intention.
Set the intention and make it something that you actually want to better about yourself. Like maybe you want to read a page a day about something in regards to mental health. Maybe you want to learn about nutrition. Like don't say, for the whole month of January, I'm going to do this. And the whole month of February, I'm going to do this. Just say, I want to learn more about this and hold yourself accountable to learning more.
Okay. So intention, accountability. Where does, and I think this ties into what you were saying, like, hope or like optimism, like, should you be optimistic towards, New Year's resolutions, or is optimism being intertwined with positivity? Because you could be optimist. I mean, I guess they coincide, but I say in being positive, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Being hopeful, you know what I mean? Or
I think I don't believe in hope. Sorry. My bad. That's a whole nother.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Grinch.
No. I think because I've been trying to practice gratitude. I think you should be grateful. I think you should understand that you have the ability to do something, and it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. Hopeful, like hoping something happens. Like you can't hope something happens and not put effort into it. So I gotta say, I don't really believe in hope. You know what it is? Like, this is how I talk to myself every day. Like, this is how I operate. So, like, when I talk about it, like, I get passionate about this because, bro, like, I haven't had a paycheck in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not I haven't gotten paid, but I haven't had I'm sorry. I haven't had a salary in 3 years. Like, you know how many people would be stressed if they didn't know they were getting a certain amount of money every 2 weeks or every week when they get paid?
See, so that goes in with why you couldn't do a New Year's resolution to tie in with what we were saying earlier about just being, gaslighting, right? Because you have to be strong-minded for shit like that. Like, I had somebody tell me, and clearly they don't know you, but they said, they couldn't imagine the mental stuff that I had to endure when playing soccer. You know what I mean? They were just like, just mentally being away from home, mentally kind of not knowing how much, or, the money situation, like being in another country, so on and so forth.
It's a lot. Like,
right. It's a lot. And where I got the mentality of things are always going to be all right, you know what I mean? I still fit like hope into that. You know what I mean? Like, or I wouldn't get down on it because it's like I know that things are not going to like, I know this ain't the end all be all. I know this ain't it.
Can you give me an example of hope? Like a life example, like a life event where like hope.
I hope she's not pregnant. Well, side note, that is not that is not an actual scenario.
But no, I get that. But it's like, I hope she's not pregnant. My thought is, well, this is what I'm gonna have to do if we have a child in 10 months. Like, that's just how my brain works. Like, if she's
to counter that, why build that stress on something that hasn't even happened yet?
Who's stressed? Why is that stressful?
You're thinking about life-altering scenario. So this is where you and I differ, right? Because I get it, right? My thing is, all right, let's have this one-day pity party and then move on and get to your point, right?
Yeah.
But before I start planning and thinking and, all right, bro, we got to sort this shit out, let me go be hopeful, do my little manifestations and prayers to hope that I don't got to get to your point. You get what I'm saying? Because I've already spent time, like that's time and energy. You get what I'm saying?
What you just said to me sounded like time and energy. Like that sounded.
To say a prayer is energy?
Fuck it. sorry. Like, okay.
Woo,
For
child.
everyone who believes in a higher power and things like that, I'm not discarding that, but you took, how long does that, let's say 24 hours a day?
To pray?
Like, no, you said you take a day for your pity party.
Oh, yeah, one day.
Okay.
Ashpagash.
You took 24 hours to do whatever you needed to, and then you're going to start going towards solutions the next day. Whereas, like, I came up with a solution in 5 minutes, and I went on my life.
But that doesn't, you have no emotions.
What do you mean? If, like, it's, the thing is, like, to your example about the pregnancy, right? If I slept with someone, they ended up getting pregnant by me, it's not like, okay, my first thing that pops in my head, like, okay, well, I'm gonna have a conversation and see how she feels about it. Does she want to keep it? What does that look like? What does it look like if we don't keep it? Cool. Then I'm like, okay, in 10 months, what can I accomplish so I can make sure my child is best set up to be in this world comfortably? So it's like, that's a goal, or that's a timeline or initiative that is already preset for me. So it's like, instead of going against it, I got 10 months to figure this shit out. But I think you would get to the same thing. You just need that day to, like,
breathe.
Yeah, you would talk to me about it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right. In that day, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
listen, bah, bah, tska, bah, bah, boom.
I guess I don't. Yeah, like,
Just like, bro, when the car situation happened,
yeah,
that first day, it was like, yo, what the fuck?
yeah.
And then after, it was like, all right, let's figure this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, let me get to the bottom of this. I just need a day to process those emotions to make sure I'm not acting on emotion.
Yes. It's funny because Ash, shout out Ash Bagash in the background giving us the fire notes. Notice you both seem like one cup is half full and one cup is half empty. I literally explained us to Tracky today. Jacob and I are the same person. One's left brain, one's right brain.
I'm right-brained.
Yeah, you need to think about it.
I don't know the difference between the two.
The right brain is like the emotional side. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm right-brain.
yeah,
sure.
Mine is like the left brain, very logical. Very
Did you know how to see what side of brain you are?
What?
You want to know how you find out what side brain you are?
Yo, I'm about to learn some shit.
So like, if you put your finger like this, right?
My right hand?
Either hand,
Okay.
right? And focus on an object. So I'm looking at that thing on the wall, right? If I close my left eye and look through my right eye, I see it through my right eye, right?
If you close your
If
left
if
eye.
I close my left eye, I could see that through my right eye.
Yeah.
Now, if I close my right eye, that thing does not fit in the circle. That's how you figure out what side brained you are. I don't know if I'm.
No, Negro.
Yes.
That,
I literally just did it with the
guys,
Spencer,
guys,
you have
is
fat
it-
arms,
is
so
it-
your arm didn't reach
is
all
it,
the way.
it has to be perfectly in the middle
Spencer,
because
line-
I want y'all to know naturally you're leaning to one side.
it doesn't matter which arm I do it with.
Yes, it does.
No, because I just did it with my left and my right arm. It's the same thing, bro.
No way. Because I just did it with my left and my right arm, and I saw both sides. It's just like one side was farther to the other.
All right.
You think that would work for Sid the Sloth? From Ice Age?
What about T-Rex arms?
No, because his eyes are over here. Like, it wouldn't.
We're not trying to find out what side brain Sid the Sloth is.
I think
Spencer,
I
it's
think
real.
your activity
Google
is
it.
flawed.
No, the activity's real.
You said it's real. Google it.
Google it.
It's on Wikipedia. Nah, but okay.
Ask Jeeves, nigga.
Yo, a throwback.
Facts. Are New Year's resolutions powerful or pointless? I already know what he's gonna say.
I think it's both, but when did you set your New Year's resolution? I think if you start setting your New Year's resolution, it's too late. You haven't really embodied it. Like, I think if it's going to be a resolution, you really have to digest it and like, no, this is my new way of being. And I already started practicing this before that. So I went into New Year's with like a full steam.
So you can't start a New Year's resolution on January 1st.
I think
It's like quitting something cold turkey.
yeah.
So
I think you had to got a couple practice strokes in, practice like I'm talking about golf, folks. Golf. You I think you gotta get some practice in before you just like, no, I'm gonna do this. Unless you're set unless you're wired like that.
yeah,
Some people are just like, I said I'm gonna do. I mean, like you said,
broken in the right way.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the fresh start effect, and the fresh start effect is revolved around self-improvement and releasing bad juju. And a lot of people feel as if New Year's resolutions are a huge part of the fresh start effect. And after, I think it was 4 to 8 weeks, the fresh start seems to die out. So it's almost like a honeymoon period.
And then it's back to
whatever.
Well, yeah, you know what it is? Because once that fresh start is over, it's like beginner's luck. Like once you're no longer lucky and you have to have skill and hard work, like fuel the rest of it. I could see that. This is all new to me. So like people who set vision boards and manifestation, I understand that. If I see something every day, I'm naturally going to gravitate towards it.
Is that so different? Is that so different?
What? Setting goals and no, I think if you set a New Year's resolution and you make a vision board and you actively work on it every day, yeah, it's gonna happen. Like the universe works in your favor. It doesn't work against you. It works in your favor. You have to work. Like you have to fuel the engine that the universe is going to spin its axis on, and it's gonna work in your favor.
That was cute. He said axis.
Axis?
I don't
know. But yeah,
well, shit. Yeah, I ain't got much more New Year's resolutions.
Do you have any?
I haven't thought about it. I have probably since like around my birthday been saying like I want to go to therapy, but there's just many reservations towards it. Like, do I need therapy? Yes, but do I trust and then, it's like dating. You have to find the right person and do this. And it's like,
but why do you think you just said, I need one?
Okay,
yes.
not
why,
need. Okay.
But why do you think you need one?
I think it would be good to just like get some things that are in my mind out and unpack a few things. Better than just like sitting down and politicking or reflecting on my own. You know what I mean?
Like the negative things as well too. Like I think unfortunately, like when it comes to therapy, people always say like, oh, I'm gonna go to therapy when I know like shit hit the fan and I know like when things are really bad and I can't handle it or work through it on my own anymore. But I think like therapy should be for the good moments and the bad moments. Like I think it's just providing additional strategies for you to work out things that you may not always know that you have the capacity to do so, because again, you're natural human beings, and when we are faced with conflict, then we automatically feel defeated or that we can't push through it. It's just strengthening and exercising your mental grit.
So
Mic
drop for sure. Shout out Ashby Gash again. With that being said, Brian asked me.
No.
Brian asked me an interesting question when we were out on Friday, because we were talking about therapy. You were like, "We're going to therapy." Obviously, we were yelling at each other because we were drunk. You were drunk. Yeah, bro, screaming across the table. I was like, bro, right here. Anyways, so he asked me, because we were talking about therapy. I was like, bro, I need to go. He's like, yo, you're the most stubborn person I know. I'm like,
I said that?
Yeah.
I meant it.
I meant that shit.
You of all people, yes, I think you need therapy.
So
respectfully.
So we're talking about this, right? And I'm like, I don't understand what I would need to go to therapy about. And then Brian's like, well, is there anything that you would talk to a therapist that you wouldn't talk to us about? Like, nah, because I live my life by a specific algorithm. And I remember
This nigga's a computer.
Ashley's response when I said this. She's like, Aquarius, they always live by an algorithm. So, if you, yes, you did.
You know, I don't even remember this conversation.
I'm an Aquarius. Y'all always live by an algorithm. I said you always find a way to live by an algorithm, and it just so happened
I'm an Aquarius.
that you're an Aquarius. But I said that makes sense because you process things like A plus B equals C. So like you have to make it into an equation that works for you. That's what I said.
Okay, you're right. I was drinking and
Yeah.
I misheard her. I appreciate. Yeah, she dropping bars today. So, I live my life by a specific algorithm. I will answer any question you ask me. Most people don't ask the right questions. If you ask me the right question, I'm willing to talk about anything. Most people, this is why we have this platform and we're able to like talk to people the way we do. We don't suffer from that. Like, it's like, I will ask you what's on my mind and I'm unapologetic because I'm also not being malicious or trying to hurt you. I genuinely want to know. Like, and that's how I learn. I'm not a read and retain type of person. I'm a visual and kinesthetic learner. So like, if we talk about it and I remember, this is why I can remember that situation so vividly, because I remember all of us being around and me like feeling the way I was on that tequila, pineapple, and rum punch, baby. Shout out K-Bar.
We don't get no free promotion.
Wow. I mean, shoot, they get free, like, we pay them. When we go out.
What the fuck do I get?
You right. I take my shout out back. But yeah, I don't know. I've been to therapy a few times and we haven't unpacked anything that I don't already think about on my own. You haven't really told me anything about myself. Maybe a couple times, like, you pointed things out that I didn't realize people noticed.
Are you talking about me in general? Or?
Yeah.
Oh.
You haven't pointed out anything about me that I didn't already know. I'd be shocked that I'm like, oh, shit, this nigga knows.
Like, bro, of everything that goes on up here, I read people and pay attention very well.
Facts. Exactly.
And people might not know. And that's why I love being me, because people think I'm just this, like, hot rocket, out of control, loose cannon. But it's like, no, motherfucker, I could talk shit while reading you, while controlling a conversation, and thinking about a soccer game I have to play later. Like, it.
Yeah. Facts. And that's why I say you and I are the same person, because I think the same way. You just, I'm just right. I don't know. New Year's resolutions, if y'all have them, power to you. I hope you stick to them. Like, a New Year's resolution that becomes a lifestyle, I'm here for it.
That's a bar.
A New Year's resolution that is now a pity party 3 to 6 months into the year, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have sympathy for that. Like, I'll go out, I'll have a drink with you, I'll talk to you about it, but there'll be some conversations I have with people, even like us, I be hearing about certain situations a few times, and like, you could tell my level of patience is like, it's dwindling. I'm like, bruh, just make it happen. I promise you, if you wanted to, it would happen. That's a promise. If you want it to happen, I bet you it'll happen.
Is that your 15 seconds of fame?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's end it like that. My 15 seconds of fame, if you want it to happen, it will happen. I promise. That's a promise King Aquarius, Mr. 20%, King Petty makes to you. If you want it to happen, it'll happen.
All right. It's going to be hard to top that one, but, I'm going to come at you real nice with a soft voice real quick and talk my shit. Thank you to the CAF for housing us. Guys, come down here, check this spot out. It's dope. They got a lot of good things going on out here. If you are a local entrepreneur in the art scene, come down here, tap in, speak to my guy Josh. There's a lot of ways that you guys can collaborate. There's a lot of good things going on down here. Fuck with us in the new year, because what we about to do is going to be a whole lot of shit that y'all ain't never seen before.
Bars.
My 15 seconds of fame, and in regards to New Year's resolutions, study your history to learn your present and plot your future. Be ready to make change, embrace change. And there's nothing wrong with doing new things to find a better you. And as I say that, I think this is the last time y'all gonna hear from us this year. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be the fucking man because I'm the best motherfucking man on the best motherfucking podcast, and that's a wrap.
Should zoom out with that. See?